Cloud computing is one of the fastest growing segments of the technology industry. According to Canalys, the worldwide cloud infrastructure services market grew 33% year over year in the second quarter of 2022. But Microsoft Azure grew even faster than the industry average with a staggering 40% increase. It's the second largest public cloud vendor with triple the revenues of Google Cloud Platform or GCP, and it's rapidly closing the market share gap with its main rival, Amazon Web Services. The rapid growth has led to a dramatic increase in the number of jobs requiring Azure skills. And one of the best ways to prove that you have got those skills is to have certification on your belt. Well, by Microsoft Azure itself, won't that add instant credibility to your portfolio? It will, right? But here's the catch. Microsoft does offer 20 plus certifications under the domain of cloud computing, and it might turn out to be quite a hideous task on deciding which certification is the best suited for you. But don't worry, today we are here to alleviate that concern by listing out top 8 Azure certifications along with intricate details. Details through which you will be able to judge which certification is best suited for you. That being said, let me take you guys to the agenda for this session. We will begin this session on a friendly note where we will talk about what are Azure certifications, then we will talk about why you should get Azure certifications, and finally, we will cover top 8 Azure certifications that Azure has on offer. I hope all you guys are clear with the agenda. But before we begin, make sure you guys enable the subscribe button and hit the bell icon so that you never miss any technical updates from us.
So without wasting any time, let's get started with the first topic of this session, that is, what are Azure certifications? Cloud computing technology is growing almost faster than any other industry, and in fact, the growth has increased by 17% in 2022 compared to the year 2021. And that is because of many facts like the tremendous increase in software as a service companies, as well as the power you get compared to what you paid for. And this has made a lot of people to think of cloud to store their websites and run their businesses on. For this reason, many big name companies have created their cloud services, and some of the best are Amazon AWS, Microsoft Azure, Google Cloud, DigitalOcean, Linode, and more. But today we'll focus on Microsoft Azure, which is one of the leading cloud computing service in today's cloud market. Cloud certifications with Azure have a lot of significance. Now you'll ask why. Actually, Azure ranks second when we talk about the overall cloud market. In the last few years, it has shown tremendous growth, whereas the growth of AWS has become constant. Besides that, the majority of Azure certifications are focused on work roles. That is, Azure certifications demonstrate to companies that you have a certain skill set for a typical profession. However, don't consider them as an alternative for real-time Azure experience or practice. These certifications for sure will get you into the cloud job roles, but they won't faint for you if you don't put your practical knowledge to display. Certifications are good for many things, but one thing they are not is a golden ticket that can be instantly redeemed for a 6-figure salary. Think of them more like a power-ups to make the cloud career game a little easier for you, and potentially unlock some shortcuts to help you reach the next level. To put it more simply, certifications assist you in moving forward by serving as an award or trophy, but nothing beats the experience gained through hard work. Ultimately, even to pass these certifications, you are going to need that hard work. Hence, we suggest you to get in the cloud and get your hands dirty or cloudy. Well, that's enough of a suggestion. Moving forward, we shall look into the reasons you should get Azure certified. Whether you are looking to move into a high-paying cloud career or just looking to declare your existing cloud skills, Microsoft Azure certifications are a great choice. Whether you are starting there or migrating to Azure from another provider. But why should you pursue Azure certification rather than AWS or Google Cloud certifications? Well, let me tell you a few reasons. Microsoft has made sensible actions that capitalize on its own assets, such as exploiting legacy footholds in enterprises to ease reluctant organizations into the clouds. That implies there are several opportunities to apply Azure expertise. Well, there can be many reasons that one can give. Common reasons are: first, maybe your employer is currently using Azure, or maybe you think the future is multi cloud and you're taking a gotta catch them all approach to take on multiple certifications and ultimately flex your well roundedness. Or rather, you are inspired by Bill Gates and thus you want to get into the cloud being all Azure. Well, whatever the reason you might be considering Azure certifications for, it's clear that this cloud runner up is doing more than just keeping pace with AWS and warrants serious consideration when choosing your Azure cloud path. AWS may be the market leader in terms of workload and adoption, but the gap is closing quickly. According to the Flexara State of Cloud survey, enterprise Azure adoption is expanding while AWS growth is relatively flat. This probably won't be your deciding factor, but Azure offers one cool bonus. Last year, Microsoft rolled out some big certification renewal and expiration changes, and that makes Azure certifications free to renew indefinitely. This move makes Azure arguably the best certification renewal option out there. Besides the value they'll bring to your employer and your career, all the Azure certifications can be obtained remotely, meaning you can get certified while working from home, so thinking about Azure certification is definitely worthwhile. Next up, we shall look into the factors for deciding which Azure certification path is right for you. When you ask the question which certification is best for me, then actually there is no single best Microsoft Azure certification path for everyone, and getting started in the cloud can be very overwhelming. Once you have decided which cloud provider path is right for you, figuring out your next step is not exactly a walk in the park either. So let's take things slow. Take a deep breath and listen to what I have to say for a while clearly. Microsoft offers quite a number of certifications, and as of 2022, we had 12 role-based Azure certifications, 3 fundamental certifications, plus a quarter of specialty certifications around IoT, SAP, Azure VDI, and Cosmos DB. There are also a mix of Azure adjacent certifications. Now, considering such a overwhelming resources, it's quite difficult to figure out where should you begin. Well, don't worry. We have put forward possibilities in the form of 3 possible scenarios that may help you decide on how to begin your Azure journey. Well, first possibility or category I have is I'm new to technology. I know almost nothing about this cloud that people talk of. Now, if you are the type of person who lists Microsoft Word as an experience with technology on your resume, you too can learn a cloud. If you are looking to begin your cloud career, an entry-level certification will give you the vocab and understanding needed to better assess where you might want to go next. The first stop on the Azure path for you is the AZ 900 Azure Fundamental Certification. The cloud can be intimidating, but what you learn to earn this certification will break it down in a way that even a total newcomer can understand, especially with the dedicated training for beginners. Second category we have contains people who already do know about cloud technology. Maybe you have got some IT experience, or maybe you have poked around with AWS, GCP or Azure. Think you are ready to jump in deep end? Tap the brakes. You should too probably start with the Azure Fundamental Certification. Best case scenario, it's a breeze for you, but however high you ascend in Azure, this certification will set the foundation for future success. The Azure Administrator Associate is the next certification on the ladder, and it can be a serious challenge. You'll need all the knowledge of the fundamental certification and a whole lot of hands-on time with Azure before attempting this examination. Final category we have contains people who are already familiar with cloud and they are already putting cloud to use every day, but now they want to level up. The majority of Microsoft Azure certifications are role-based. Do you see a job title that you have or would like to have? Guys, that is exactly a certification for you. Of course, those certificates aren't necessarily completely aligned with what every business could expect of someone with that designation. In those cases, it is critical to check job post for the name of certification you are interested in and see whether the role and duties sound appealing. I hope the categorization we discuss is clear to all of you guys out there. Moving forward, we shall look into top 8 Azure certifications that we think are the best Azure Cloud has to offer. First one on our list we have is Microsoft Certified Azure Fundamentals, that is AZ900 certification exam. This certification is for people who are new to Microsoft Azure services and want to learn about cloud principles, Azure services and security, as well as how to determine the pricing. The AZ900 exam will consist of 40 to 60 questions that you must answer in 85 minutes. The passing mark for this exam will lie around 700 marks, and there will be no penalty for any wrong answer. If you are just starting out in cloud computing and Azure, this is the certification you should pursue. The Azure Fundamental certification is one of the top paying cloud certifications, with certification owners pulling in an average of $126,000 salary. But real talk, cloud embracing companies are not going to be beating down your door just because you have this certification. Still, the basics you'll learn here are a foundation for cloud understanding. If you are an aspiring Azure professional, this is a great place to get your feet wet before jumping into a full-on career change. Next up, we have is Exam DP 900, which is Microsoft Azure Data Fundamental Certification. This certificate is for beginners and teaches you the data fundamentals and how you can implement them inside Microsoft Azure, such as managing databases and data analytics. As its name suggests, the certification is best suited for data programmers and DBAs who want to learn Azure. In order to pass this exam, you'll be tested on key concepts of relational and non-relational data and different types of data workloads such as transactional or analytical. One thing to note here is that this certification can act as a foundation for advanced certification such as Azure Database Administrator Associate or Azure Data Engineer Associate. But guys, remember, by any means it is not prerequisite for the associate level certification. Third certification we have on our list is Exam AI 900, Microsoft Azure AI Fundamentals Certification. Microsoft Azure can be used to deploy your AI solutions, and to learn how this is possible, you need to take this certification that is intended to teach you to use these services and cover some of the AI concepts. This is another fundamental level certification, and you'll be tested against fundamental concepts related to artificial intelligence and the services in the Azure cloud. This is the best Azure certification for AI experts who want to learn Azure and design AI-driven solutions on Microsoft Azure portal itself. If you want to learn artificial intelligence in the Azure cloud, then I would recommend you to go for this certification. This is not a required stepping stone in any Azure career path, but it can be helpful in getting you ready for certifications like Azure AI Engineer Associate and Azure Data Scientist Associate. Next certification we have here is Exam AZ104, Microsoft Azure Administrator Certification. The certificate is intended for intermediate people who are familiar with the PowerShell command line and operating systems. It will teach you how to manage cloud services including storage, security, networking, and more. This is the most effective Azure certification for system administrators. This is also an associate level exam that you should take once you have passed any foundational level Azure certification such as AZ900, AI900 or DP900. You must have a deep understanding of different Azure services across the full IT lifecycle and take requests for infrastructure services, applications and environments to pass this exam. As a certified Azure administration, you will make recommendations on services to use for optimal performance and scale, as well as provision, size, monitor and adjust resources as appropriate. Hence, strong knowledge of Azure services are expected for this particular certification. Besides that, you'll have to pay $165 as examination fee. Also guys, this is one of the top paying Azure certification. If you're wanting to get into Azure management game, it's a no-brainer. This certification builds on a basic cloud knowledge foundation and puts theoretical concepts into real-world practice, ensuring you can keep Azure apps and services up and running. Plus, this certification is required to continue your hike over the Azure skill tree and snag the Azure DevOps Engineer Expert certification. Fifth certification on our list is Exam AZ204, Developing Solutions for Microsoft Azure. If you have at least 1 year of experience in developing Azure cloud solutions, then you should take this certification exam. It will teach you how to design and build as well as develop solutions for enterprises on Azure cloud services such as application as a service. AZ204 exam has duration of 120 minutes with random 40 to 60 questions in different types of use case scenarios, programming codes, true false, and you need to score minimum of 70% to pass the AZ204 exam. If you are a software developer, then getting certified for Azure Developer or AZ204 is a great idea. It is the best Azure certification for developers. And if you need resources to prepare for this examination, then you should check out Intellipaat's website. You'll find multiple resources there. Next certification we have on our list is AZ500 for becoming Microsoft Azure Security Engineer. Cloud security is a highly sought after skill. As more organizations do hypercritical things in the cloud, people who can ensure those things stay safe will continue to see their salaries soaring. What I said is totally right. Cloud security equals job security, and these jobs does pay well and pay off even more after a few years of experience. Whatever wild innovations come next, you can rest assured that security will continue to be a top priority in the cloud sector. Well, by listening to the above facts, if you want to learn security at the cloud level, then this certificate is right for you. And your job is to implement security solutions and threat protection for the applications as well as maintain the security vulnerabilities. This Azure certification is ideal for IT security professionals who want to acquire the knowledge and skills needed to implement security on their Azure cloud infrastructure. That being said, let's move towards the next certification on our list, that is Microsoft Certified Azure AI Engineer Associate or AI 102 examination. For this certification, you'll need knowledge about artificial intelligence and Microsoft Azure as well. AI has quickly gone from the stuff of science fiction to an increasingly sought after skill set. This certification shows you are a step ahead of the curve and ready for a long, fruitful career that deals with developing intelligent solutions over cloud platform. You'll architect and run AI tools using natural language processing, speech, computer vision, bots, and agents. In order to pass the Azure AI Engineer Associate certification, you should be able to build, manage, and deploy AI solutions that leverage Azure Cognitive Services and Azure Applied AI Services. Their responsibilities include participating in all phases of AI solution development from requirement, definition, and design to development, deployment, maintenance, performance tuning, and monitoring. Finally, let's move ahead and look into the last and 8th certification on our list, that is Microsoft Certified Azure Solutions Architect Expert. This certification is a little bit advanced and the holder of this certification must know how to design and implement solution for your application that runs on Microsoft Azure such as networking and security to name a few. You must have Microsoft Azure Administrator Associate certification in the bag before you attempt to take down this colossal certificate and its difficult exam. This is for experienced IT and DevOps pros with existing Azure administration and development skills. A successful solution architect is a day worker who works effortlessly with cutting edge technology and good old fashioned humans. They are capable of taking on technical tasks like creating apps, configuring cloud infrastructure, and planning continuity. but they are equally up for getting chatty about cloud with colleagues, helping pair team with solutions and serving as a persuasive cloud evangelist to convert cloud naysayers. Now, if I have to put up a visualization of how things will turn out to be in the aftermath of this certification, then I'll put it as most of the tech savvy companies will be delighted to hire you. The reason being, you bring an encyclopedic level of IT insights. It also has the potential to open up a whole new world of prospective job opportunities, and this type of cross-functional role, the experience you gain from it and the people you work with can lay the groundwork for a move from cloud ladder to the corporate leadership ladder. Guys, that's all we have for this session. I hope the wide information we covered through this session was informative for all of you guys out there. Thank you for being here till the end of this video. I wish you best of luck in launching your Azure certification journey. If you have liked this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button and also do consider it to enable that subscribe button and bell icon so that you never miss any update from Intellipaat YouTube channel.
Just a quick info guys. Intellipaat provides Microsoft Azure Certification training in partnership with Microsoft. The course link of which is given in the description below.